What's going on, everyone? Thank you for joining me today for another stream of Let's Learn QuickBooks together. So I am going to be tackling the QuickBooks Online certification so that I can become a QuickBooks ProAdvisor. So come learn with me. I'm going to be continuing with the lessons and the modules, and let's get started. So I already have. Let me open up my screen so you guys can see what I'm looking at. I already have the QuickBooks Online Accountant open up, so I'm just going to go over to ProAdvisor Training and continue where I last left off. It's been a few days since I've been able to get to this. Been involved in other activities and didn't have access to my computer, so I wasn't able to stream. So let's return to where we left off over at supporting small business clients. We left off at transfers over here. So let's start off over here. Let's resume that lesson. Transfers. The story so far. Chris is an experienced professional. Just because this is his first independent business venture doesn't mean he's not aware of the importance of making sure he's planning ahead and putting money aside to meet his tax liabilities. One morning, Chris calls asking how to set up a regular transfer of funds into a savings account just to keep on top of his tax liabilities until he can predict things more accurately. Are you ready to show Chris just how easy setting up a transfer is? So, how can QuickBooks Online help? Transfers. Oh, let me check my thing over here. Managing account. Okay. Transfers between different balance sheet accounts are easy to set up in QuickBooks Online once the accounts themselves are set up. In this lesson, you'll see how easy transfers are set up and how they can be set up to occur. Hey Debbie, what's going on? But anyway, they can be set up to recur. So as you'd imagine, QuickBooks Online will keep track of every transfer automatically, whether it's manually configured or recurring. Learning outcomes. In this lesson, you'll learn how to recognize when and how to use transfers. So topics covered are what is a transfer, recording a transfer, ProAdvisor challenge. Let's continue that lesson. What is a transfer? Companies often transfer funds between company-owned bank accounts. Perhaps the company is moving funds from general operating account to the checking account used for payroll, or from a savings account to the checking account. Perhaps the company transferred funds from the company checking account to pay down the company credit card. Here's a summary of the transfer functionality. The transfer screen is used to move funds between two balance sheet accounts. The transfer screen is not used to record income or expenses. A transfer is a one-to-one transfer of funds. There is no splits allowed. There are no customers, vendors, employees, or products and services items involved. These fields are not available on the transfer screen. You don't use the transfer feature. Make transfers between. Let's read that again. You don't use the transfer feature. Make transfers between your bank account and your vendor's bank account. Okay. Continue lesson. That was a little bit confusing the way you read. So, there's a video over here. So first I'm going to read the notes, then watch the video. So, recording a transfer. A transfer of money between accounts is not an income or expense. So, you and Chris will need to use the transfer screen. Watch the video to see how it's done. The individual steps are below for you to follow. Changes in the UI may not be reflected in the video. Chris needs to set up a transfer of $200 into his savings account. Navigate to the plus symbol. Okay, they keep referring to this plus symbol. I don't see the plus symbol on my UI, so I don't know where that is. But anyway, let's get back to this. Navigate to the plus symbol, find the transfer link, select it to go to the screen. Select the account from which you are transferring funds for Chris. We need to transfer out of his checking account. Select savings account, which is where Chris wants the funds to be transferred. Chris wants $200 to be transferred. Fill in the date, make it today's date, save and close. So now let's watch the video.
Chris needs to set up a transfer of $200 into his savings account. Navigate to the Create Plus icon. Find the transfer link. Select it to go to that screen. Select the account from which you are transferring funds for Chris. We need to transfer out of his checking account. Select Savings Account, which is where Chris wants the funds to be transferred. Chris wants $200 to be transferred.
Let me watch that again.
Date.
At the
Make
beginning.
it today's date.
I'm gonna have to
Select
rewatch this
Save and close.
to make sure I got a handle of where
Chris needs to set up a
it is
transfer of $200
needs to be
into
clicked
his
and
savings
everything.
account.
Okay.
Navigate to the Create Plus icon.
Create plus
Find the transfer link.
transfer.
Select it to go to that screen.
Okay.
Select the account from which you are transferring funds for
From
Chris. We
to
need to transfer out of his checking account. Select Savings Account, which is where Chris wants the funds to be transferred.
all
Chris
right.
wants $200 to be transferred. Fill in the date. Make it today's date. Select Save and close.
All right. Perfect. So let's continue this lesson. Lesson check. What defines a transfer like the ones you've just seen? Moving money from a checking account to a vendor? No, I don't think that's true. Moving money from one balance sheet account to another balance sheet account? That sounds right, but I'll read the next potential answer. Moving money from an income account to a bank account? No, I don't think that's true neither. So that's right. Transfers are about moving money from one balance sheet account to another. This isn't about expenses or sales. Okay, great. ProAdvisor challenge. For this ProAdvisor challenge, you need to you need a transfer for your client. Select the headings to find out more. The challenge: your client Craig is planning to purchase a new work van later in the year. Wants to set aside some money to pay for the first installment. Use the link below to transfer $500 from his checking account to his savings account. Okay, I'm not sure how we're going to do this because for some reason that plus create symbol doesn't pop up in my screen. So banking. Let's check banking. Maybe it has something to do with that. Be great if you could look it up. Looks like we can't do it, so we're just going to pretend that we did it. I feel like we should be able to do it here. So what does it want us to do? Select savings account. Well, yeah, no clue how to do it here. Because as you guys can see, there's no plus symbol over here. I'm going to have to figure that out. But we'll just assume that we did it so we could move on. Kind of crazy that we're not able to see it. me look at that. Plus create not available on QuickBooks Online Accountant. Here we go. Huh. Is it Chrome? Okay, we're just gonna move on for now. Summing up, well done. In this lesson, you learned how to recognize when and how to use transfers. Okay. Let's move this over here. I'm going to open up QuickBooks Online on this other page over here. See if that helps, or if anything changes over here. Maybe it's just this browser that's causing issues, is what I'm wondering. Might be actually, because I see something here. No, that's the bell. But I'm going to open up over here. Okay, I'm going to put this over so you guys can see what I'm saying. I'm just going to come back to this page. Training. See what happens. Let's open this up. Transfers. Bring us down to here. Challenge. Let's open this up. It's not here neither. So weird. There it is. So they've changed the UI. They changed the, what it looks like has happened. They changed the user interface, so it's over here now. So close. Cancel. Let's just put this over here for now. Actually, let's close this out. Okay. So I didn't really know what that was, but let's open that up. So now here, this is where we do it. Transfer from, what was the directions? Purchase a new van later in the year and want to set aside money to pay for the first installment. Use the link below to transfer $500 from his checking account. Checkings, okay. $500 to savings. Transfer amount 500. And let's see what are the exact steps. Today's date, memo. Let's close that. What's he want to do? Save and close. What does he want to do? Set money aside for a first installment. Reserve for van installment payment. Okay. Save and close. Now, the easiest way to check if you got it right, is to look in the checking bank register. There should be a transfer transaction for $500 to going to the savings account. Checking bank register. Checking bank register. So let's go back into banking. Go to register. Register basics. What is a register? It's where you go to see every transaction included in an account. Look on the right to see your running balance. Look for your specific transaction. Click here to filter your account history and see what you need quickly. You register right away. View your register just the way you like it. Want it more compact? Select show in one line. Prefer to see your most recent transaction at the bottom of the register. You got it. Select paper ledger mode. Okay. So, let's see. And you see right here $500 transferred, which brings the overall balance to $1,300. Okay. So we're done here with this lesson. So we're going to continue to the next lesson. I think this is going to be the last lesson for this. No, we're done. No, this is the last lesson, I think. Module review, rather. Module review, supporting your small business clients. This short module review is an optional account. This is an optional activity enabling you to revisit some of the key points covered in the course. This is not a test, so there's no scoring and no pass or fail either. Its purpose is to help reinforce what you've learned. Although the review is optional, we do recommend that you complete it because it does count toward your course completion status and is reflected in the progress bar. To complete the review, simply work through the questions presented. You must answer each question correctly to proceed to the next. Okay, question 1. One weekend, your client gets 3 separate payment checks from 3 separate customers for work they've invoiced. Why is it preferable to select undeposited funds instead of bank account when reconciling each individual payment in QuickBooks Online? I'm not sure. So let's look at what the answers are. Because the tax liability of each payment will be more accurate if each check is added individually to maybe. Using undeposited funds will duplicate income. Don't think so. Undeposited funds will record income on an accrual basis. I don't think so. It allows you to group the 3 payments into a singular deposit transaction so the register matches the bank statement deposit amount. That sounds like you might be right. So let's check my answer. Yep. Okay. So the answer was, it allows you to group the 3 payments into a singular deposit transaction so the register matches the bank statement deposit amount. Okay. It allows you to group the 3 payments into a singular. Okay. I'm trying to understand that. So that the register matches the bank deposit amount. But why would it not match if you do it separately? Okay. Next. I mean, apparently that's the reason, but I'm not really sure if I understand the full flow, the full process flow to really understand the reason why. Your client runs a smoothie stall at a festival. She gets paid in cash when she hands her customers the delicious smoothie. What transaction would you use to record these sales in QuickBooks Online? Your client runs a smoothie stall at a festival. She gets paid in cash when she hands her customers the delicious smoothie. What transaction would she use to record these sales in QuickBooks Online? So the answers, potential answers are invoice, sales receipt, payment, or credit memo. I would say it's sales receipt, but let's find out. That's right, sales receipt. Okay, which one of these statements is true of estimates in QuickBooks Online? Estimates, the answers are estimates are non-posting transactions. Estimate data cannot be copied across to create a purchase order in QuickBooks Online. I don't think that's true. Estimates cannot be used to create an invoice in QuickBooks Online. I don't think that's true. I think estimates are non-posting transactions. That's correct. All right. Question 4. Which of the following transactions and tools in the list are posting transactions? Which of the following transactions and tools in the list are posting transactions? Tools in the list are posting. Let me read that question again. Which of the following transactions and tools in the list are posting transactions? Not okay. Purchase orders? I don't think so. Estimates? No. Credit memos? Forget exactly what credit memos are. And vendor credits. I would say it's this. I would say that's it. I'm not right. Let's check that. There we go. Credit memos and vendor credits. So let's find out what this is exactly, because I forget what it is. QuickBooks Online, QuickBooks Credit Memo. What is a credit memo? Okay. Me to help you apply a credit memo to your customer's invoice, and if a customer paid more than what was returned. Okay. I think credit memo and vendor credit is like, just inverse of each other. One's from you to the vendor, and another one's the opposite ways, vendor to you. When would you use a deposit transaction? Question 5. When would you use a deposit transaction? Select all the options that are correct. When would you use a deposit transaction? To group together payments posted to the undeposited funds. Maybe. When funds are received but they're not related to the core business. I don't think so. When the company doesn't use invoices or sales receipts and records deposits directly to income accounts. I don't think so. For refunds and other employee payments received. I think that's it. I'm not sure though. Let's try these. Okay, this is going to be kind of a guess and check. There we go. Okay. When would you use a deposit transaction? Select all the questions that are correct. To group together payments posted to undeposited funds. When funds are received but they are not related to the core business. When the company doesn't use invoice or sales receipts and records deposits directly to income accounts. And for refunds or employee payments received. Let's write that down, because this looks like an important. This one looks like an important question that I should know. Deposit transactions. And now I'm going to screenshot this. Because that looks important to me. It was hard. So next. But also, I think I want to capture another one. No, I don't think so. let's keep moving on. Your client wants to transfer $500 from their checking account into a savings account to cover tax liabilities for sales made that month. Your client wants to transfer $500 to cover tax liabilities for sales made that month. Where should they start the process? Navigate to plus new button to find the transfer link. Yep, check answers. Great. Great job. Okay, you're doing great. Let's keep the momentum going. You can now move on to the next module from the course overview. Okay, but first, last thing we need to do is the CPE assessment. So let's do the CPE assessment before moving on. Oh wait, wrong one. Okay, so we'll go here, start. CPE assessment rules. Before you begin this assessment, please review the instructions below. If you don't require CPE credits, you may skip this optional assessment, but why not challenge yourself to see how much you know? Okay. You must complete this short assessment in one sitting. You have unlimited attempts to pass this assessment. So let's get started. Question 1. When would you make an adjusting journal entry? Oh, this looks like a good question. I'm going to also make this, copy this. On an ad hoc basis when necessary. At the end of an accounting period before financial statements are produced. At the end of an accounting period after financial statements are produced. At the end of an accounting period so that all financial statements will be correct. I would say it's this guy. I'm going to write that down. Trees. I'm going to probably write that down too. But anyway, question 2. Your client has received check payments from 3 of their customers and informed you that they have not deposited these checks into the bank yet. Into which account would you record these check payments? You would record it into the check undeposited funds account. Which of the following statements are true regarding using undeposited funds in QuickBooks Online? It helps you to easily match, and I want to write this down too, actually. Let me write this down in my notes on the side that I have open up to my side over here. Which of the following statements are true regarding using undeposited funds in QuickBooks Online? It helps you easily match bank deposit transactions to a money in item on the bank statement. I think so. It's a way of grouping multiple customer payments together. Yes. It tracks only cash payments from your customer workflow. Not sure. It tracks payments that you have received but not yet paid to the bank. Yes. Tracks only cash payments from your customer workflow. Not sure, but I'm not going to select it, I think. But let me copy this over, assuming it's correct. Which of the following statements helps you easily match? Okay, it tracks only cash payments from your customer workflow. Well, let's continue without it. Which 3 of these statements are true of using credit memos in QuickBooks Online? In the Advanced tab of Accounting and Settings, you can select a checkbox that will automatically apply credits to the next customer invoice. I think that's true. You should use a credit memo when issuing a cash refund. I don't think so. To create a credit memo, begin by selecting the plus new button, then the credit memo. If issuing a cash refund, you should use a refund receipt transaction. Yep, that sounds right to me. If you have a client whose business uses accrual basis invoicing and accounts receivable workflow, they use the banking screen. Let's read that again. You have a client whose business uses accrual basis invoicing and accounts receivable workflow. They use the banking screen to enter a deposit for a payment check, which they post manually to an income account. To enter a deposit check for a payment check. Okay, let's read this from the beginning. You have a client whose business uses accrual basis invoicing and accounts receivable workflow. They use the banking screen to enter a deposit for a payment check, which they post manually to an income account. What problem will this cause? Select all that is correct. The transaction will generate duplicate income. They'll create duplicate expenses. Their account receivable balance will not be accurate. I think that's it, but we'll come back to it. This one's a hard one. Your client has issued an estimate which was accepted by the client. Your client has issued an estimate which was accepted by the client. When the work is done, your client issues an invoice. Which statement is true regarding the workflow for QuickBooks Online? The only transaction that posts is the invoice, which creates accounts receivable. The only transaction that posts is the estimate. When the work is done, your client issues an invoice. Okay, your client, which was accepted by, let's read from the beginning. Your client has issued an estimate which was accepted by the client. Okay. When the work is done, your client issues an invoice. Which estimate is true regarding the workflow? The only transaction that posts is, or the only transaction that posts is invoice, which increases accounts receivable. Yep, I think that's it. Question 7. Where can you find... Oopsie, let's move this right over here. Where can you find the vendor credit link to begin recording a vendor credit? I would say it's in the plus new button. What option completes the statement? Okay. Bank deposit transactions are used for adding new deposits for activity that is not a refund, that is not related to vendor, that is not related to sales transactions. Maybe it's that's not subject to sales tax. Your client wants to be proactive and save for their quarterly taxes ahead of time. They want to save a fixed amount each month into a savings account. They want to save a fixed amount into savings. What would you recommend? Setting up a regular online payment, make a deposit to the bank, set up a regular transfer between accounts? I would say it's that. In QuickBooks Online, clients can invoice customers using online invoicing and utilizing QuickBooks payments so customers can be paid by credit card via the invoice. What does the customer need to do to begin the process when they get the invoice? They call the client with their credit card number. No. They select the Pay Now button and can enter their payment details. I think that's it, but let's read the rest of the questions. They send a message via the message feature with their credit card number. They need to select a link in the invoice and apply for QuickBooks payment so they can pay. Question 11. A purchase order isn't a posting transaction, but once a purchase order is accepted by the vendor and when the product is delivered, the purchase order can be turned into a bill increasing. Which option completes the statement? I think is accounts receivable. The other options are accounts payable, checking, and undeposited funds. No, wait. That's not true. Purchase order isn't a posting transaction, but once a purchase order is accepted by the vendor And when the product is delivered, the purchase order can be turned into accounts payable. Excuse me. It's not AR, it's AP. Yeah, finished. So let's find out how we did. Ah, we passed. I'm surprised. As surprised as you guys are. I got it right all in the first shot. That's fantastic. I don't even know how I did that. In fact, I want to look at it again. Great. All right, perfect. I'm going to look at that again because I want to, oops. I can't look at it again. Oh, that stinks. Oh wait, it's the wrong one. Well, regardless, looks like I can't look at it again. That's silly. How silly is that? Okay. But that said, I want to go through here really quick to see if there's any other additional things that I want to include. Oh gosh, someone let me go through them all. I actually have to, so I can't just like go through these modules real quick to find out stuff. That's silly. Very silly. Training. Okay. I just want to go through this really quick. Oh yes, there we go. I was in the wrong area. Next lesson. Undeposited funds. Let's see. Just want to go through to see if there's any information that I want to include in my notes, because they did have some fairly complex, not complex, but you know, stuff that's hard to recall. So let me pull this up. Okay, let's continue. Credit memos, we know what that is. Vendor credits, we know what that is too. Okay, deposit transaction. Let's see what this is about. Understanding deposit transactions. Let's see. Let's make space for this. Okay. Okay, so I'm just making notes over here, personal notes, along with the grouping existing payments in undeposited funds into deposit transactions are also used for adding new deposits for activity not related to sales transactions, such as when a company receives. So it's basically along with grouping existing payments in undeposited funds into deposits. Deposit transactions are also used for adding new deposits for activity not related to sales. That's basically what it's used for. Okay, so it's used for moving undeposited funds to deposited or grouping. Let me read that again. So it's used for grouping existing payments in undeposited funds and for depositing of activity not related to sales. And these would be examples. Company receives funds from loan proceeds or contributions of cash from owners. When cash receives a refund from vendor and want to record it directly against the expense account, or a refund received income account. When a company doesn't record income using sales transactions and want to record deposits directly to income accounts. When an employee reimburses the company and the reimbursement needs to be recorded against the employee loan receivable account, and when there is a tax refund. So basically the deposit transactions are to record non-sale activity transactions. Okay, so money inflow that is not due to sales. Okay, I think that was good information. So let me see. Let's move on to next. See if there's anything else that I want to make note of before we move on to the next module. The screen might have froze up over here. Okay, so what are we? Journal entries. Let's read that, because this is something good to know, just so I can make more notes over here. Blah 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 blah. Let's move on. Okay, journal entry rules. Total debits must equal credits. You cannot use product and service items in a journal entry. Interesting. Let's see. Journal entry rules. I'm just going to copy these rules down. Journal entry rules. Total debits must equal credits. In order to save the journal entry, you cannot use product and service items in the journal entry. When posting to an accounts receivable, you must specify a customer. When posting to accounts payable, you must specify a vendor. You may use multiple accounts receivable and or accounts payable accounts in the same journal entry. You can't mark an amount as billable to a customer. Okay. Let's continue. Adjusting entries. And these, I guess, are the adjusting entries. Adjusting journal. And I'm going to copy this as well for my notes. Okay, there we go. So what are adjusting entries? Adjusting entries are often made at the end of an accounting period before the financial statements are produced for the company. And these include accrued expenses, deferred expenses, accrued revenue, deferred revenue, and non-cash transactions. So what would be non-cash transactions? Depreciation, etc. So Adjusting entries are accruals and non-cash transactions such as depreciation. All right, I think we're done here. Next lesson. Let's see, is there anything else that I should be taking note of? I think that's it. Training. Let's go back. QuickBooks Online Certification. We're going to be moving on to the next module over here. And the next module is reporting. So there are 4 lessons for this, so it's not, but one of the lessons are a little bit longer, but it shouldn't be as long. So let's just get started. Hey, Old Dirty Dasher, how's it going? Have I done my taxes yet? I have not done my taxes yet. I should be getting it done in the next month. Just haven't had the time or opportunity to do it yet. But have you done your taxes yet? And thank you for coming through. How have you been, Old Dirty Dasher? Let's see. Reporting. Basic reports. Start. Basic reports. The story so far. As you have seen in the introduction modules, QuickBooks Online has powerful reporting functionality designed to help you and your clients save time and be more efficient. Reports can be customized to include the information important to your clients, allowing them to monitor just how well their business is performing. How can QuickBooks Online help? Reports give your clients a full set of analytics on just how well they're doing, and of course, help to identify where they could make improvements to grow and be more profitable. Not yet. So not looking forward to it. Just finished doing a Grubhub block. Yeah, that's another thing that I'm thinking about, because like I may have to owe some due to the Grubhub money that I have earned. Not bad. 47 plus $5 cash for 3 hours. Yeah, that definitely isn't bad. Making that money. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna owe. I mean, I'm probably gonna have to owe something for self-employment taxes. So there's that. But my regular job, I withhold a good amount. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna have to withhold for or owe any money due to that. But yeah, so in no rush to get it done, because I'm not feeling incentivized to pay the self-employment taxes. But yeah, I'm going to be trying to start jumping on some more Grubhub and doing some more of that on my way back home from my job going forward into the next couple of weeks. But we'll see how that goes. How can QuickBooks Online help? So I read that. This lesson is an opportunity to refresh the skills and knowledge you've gained in the introduction course. We will also take a lesson at how you can build on your knowledge throughout the rest of the module. Basic reports. Learning outcomes. In this lesson, you'll learn how to 1. Recognize how to navigate the report center and run basic reports. 2. Recognize the difference between cash basis and accrual basis reporting. Topics covered include the benefits of reporting, the report center, reports and subscription levels, and basic reports. Continue lesson. The benefits of reporting. The benefits of creating reports. Your clients need to have a clear snapshot of how they are doing. QuickBooks Online reports provide valuable insights into the financial position of a business, the results of operations for a specific period of time, statistical information such as the best-selling item or gross profit margin, information about customers, vendors, and employees. But first, we need a quick recap of a key concept that clients need to know: the difference between cash and accrual reporting. Okay. So, cash reports. See, hold on a sec. Cash basis reports. These reports display income at the time it was received and expenses at the time they were paid. This is great when your clients need a quick overview of their cash flow. Accrual basis reports. These reports display income at the time it was invoiced and expenses at the time they were purchased, regardless of when the payment occurred. This is appropriate when your clients want to view income earned and expenses incurred. Okay. Income earned and expenses incurred. Continued lesson. Okay, the report center. Okay, so we're going to read this really quick and then we'll watch the video. In this section, we're going to look through the report center tab by tab. Watch the video to see how it's done. The individual steps are below for you to follow. Changes in the UI may not be reflected in the video. Navigating the report center. The reporting categories are listed by business purpose, and within each of these is the related report. Let's run through this together, and you can have a look at all the different reporting options because there are lots. 1. Select the reports link in the left navigation. Where? Here. The report center is divided into 3 tabs, but most of what you need is in the standard tab. Okay, we'd have to click it. This shows the most common reports business owners will want to run. Favorites. This section will remember those reports run most often. It will show that you looked at business snapshot. It will allow you to quickly access regular reports. Business overview. This displays income and expenses in year-over-year comparisons, often using pie charts and bar graphs. It also shows a snapshot of who is owed money and who owes money to the business. Then you'll see reports grouped by sales categories and expense categories, and a section for employee information. So let's now watch the video together.
Navigating the reports center. The reporting categories are listed by business purpose, and within each of these is the related report. Let's run through this together, and you can have a look at all the different reporting options, because there are lots. Select the reports link in the left navigation. The reports center is divided into 3 tabs, but most of what you need is in the standard tab. This shows the most common reports business owners will want to run. Favorites. This section will remember those reports run most often, so it will show that you looked at business snapshot. It will allow you to quickly access regular reports. Business overview. This displays income and expenses in year-over-year comparisons, often using pie charts and bar graphs. It also shows a snapshot of who is owed money and who owes money to the business. Then you'll see reports grouped by sales categories and expense categories, and a section for employee information. For my accountant. There are lots of reports that you can run here, from account lists to transaction list by date. Many of them are available to your clients from other report tabs, but those reports most common to accountants are grouped here for quick access. The Custom Reports tab. Any reports run with customizations will show here, providing that you have saved them. Here, you can access every report in QuickBooks Online. Reports are grouped into topics such as Review Sales and Manage Accounts Payable. To see the list of reports available in each topic, just select the topic heading and the individual reports are displayed. The Management Reports tab. Here, reports are grouped into professional-styled report packages and are downloadable, with options to add professional elements such as a cover page, table of contents, custom letters, as well as the reports. Have a look at the Sales Performance package. These reports can be presented to clients and vendors or financial institutions as a professionally packaged summary of a client's business. You can customize the heading and content of the reports to suit you and your client's needs. Spend a little while going through some of the reports. Maybe you can set up a customized report to suit a specific need Terry has identified. That can be done right here. To customize and save a report, first run a report, and then select the Customize button at the top right-hand side for options to choose from.
All right, perfect. Let's continue moving on. Continue lesson, reports and subscription levels. The reports available to your clients or their team members depend on the subscription level, user roles, and features they or you have enabled. There are so many to view. We put together a download and keep guide that you can refer to. To get you started, here's an overview of what reports are available in each subscription type. Select the tabs below. So QuickBooks Online, simple start. This option allows for basic data entry to track your money in and money out, as well as customer tracking and invoicing. ProAdvisor tip. To see the reports included in each QuickBooks Online subscription, go to QuickBooksIntuit.com. QuickBooks Online Advanced will offer the same reporting functionality as QuickBooks Online Plus, but with the addition of smart reporting with Fathom. Okay, the option QuickBooks Online Simple Start. This option allows for basic data entry to track your money in and money out, as well as customer tracking and invoicing. QuickBooks Online Essentials. More features, therefore more reports. You can run vendors and product reports and have more insight into the company's financial results rather. QuickBooks Online Plus. This option opens all the features of QuickBooks Online. It offers more comparison tool reports for company financials. Unlike Essentials, you can run reports relating to location and class, purchasing and inventory, time activities, and more. Now select the report differences by subscription level for your copy of the reporting levels. Let's look at this. Okay. This looks like good information to keep. So I'm going to copy this over here. And what is this? Reporting. Okay, so this is the reporting section. I'm going to make a new tab for this, reporting. And I'm going to copy this. What is it? Reporting differences by subscription level. I'm going to go ahead and take a snapshot of that. Perfect. So now we're going to continue moving on. Oh boy. So, basic reports. To see the different types of reports in more detail, select the tab below. So, accounts receivable. Accounts receivable, or AR reports in QuickBooks Online, allows you to or your clients to see who owes the business money and how much they owe. The reports include customer balance summary and detailed AR aging summary, and detailed collections report, invoice list, and statement list. Managing the amount of money owed to the business can be hard. Using AR reports help Craig manage his cash flow more efficiently by making the details of open customer balances visible. What is an AR aging summary report? The AR aging summary report lists each customer with an open balance. It lists the open invoices in different columns based on whether they are current or how long they've been overdue, 30, 60, or 90 plus days. By running this report, you and Craig can see who owes money and what their payment terms are. Changes in the UI may not be reflected in the video. So let's now watch the video. reports, AR aging summary, okay. Accounts payable. Accounts payable or AP reports in QuickBooks Online allow you and your clients to see what the business owes, and when the payments are due. The reports include AP aging summary and detail, vendor balance summary and detail, bill payments, and unpaid bills. For your clients, especially Craig, managing cash going out of the business is crucial. He can gain insight into which vendors to pay and when by using these reports, and as a result managing his cash flow. The AP aging summary. The report summarizes the status of unpaid bills and unapplied vendor credits. It serves as a quick glance at which vendors are most overdue. So why would you run one of these reports? Well, when a client like Craig has received goods and services, he can use this report to show when to pay the vendor's money. As Craig's accountant, you can use the AP aging summary to help Craig understand how to pay vendors strategically instead of just paying the first ones he thinks of or those he likes best. So for example, if Craig has a vendor who is making finance charges, you can encourage him to pay them first and not pay a bill that is still within payment terms. That way he can maintain his pool of available cash and not run short when he needs to buy supplies essential for completing current work. Changes in UI may not be reflected in the video, so let's watch the video. So reports, scroll down. What you owe, accounts payable, aging, AP aging summary report. All dates, run report, all dates. Okay, perfect. Now let's move on to the third tab, which is profit and loss and balance sheet. The profit and loss and balance sheet are two other essential reports that help Craig to assess his financial performance. Profit and loss is also referred to as the income statement. An income statement summarizes the amount of financial activity associated with each income or expense account for a specific period of time, so the business can assess whether it's operating at a profit or a loss. To run a profit and loss report, if you are looking at Craig's landscaping and design business, you could navigate to the reports center and find the report under the business overview. On the profit and loss report screen, there are options to customize the report to suit your client. Within the report period, you can change the display of columns and compare with another period. You'll find an example under the Tools section where you can download copies of these reports. To run the balance sheet report from the Report Center under Business Overview, you'll see Balance Sheet. The reporting period for an income statement differs from that of a balance sheet. A balance sheet summarizes the financial position of a business at a single moment in time. That is why it's commonly referred to as a snapshot of the business. This report reflects whether the assets that the business owns are enough to offset its liabilities and leave a net equity balance after all liabilities have been paid off. As above, you have options to sort and filter this report to suit your client's needs. You'll find an example of this report under the Tools section where you can download and view it. These have been added to the resource notes below. Okay. Let's look at this. This would be a balance sheet. What is this? As of 2019. and this would be profit and loss during this time frame. January 1st to September 24th, 2019 was include income, design income, discounts given, discounts given, landscaping services. Total is that jobs and material. Total jobs and materials is that cost. Then labor, etc., etc., and that gets you eventually down to net income. All right. So let's continue with this lesson. Lesson check. So what we have here is a Craig's Design and Landscaping Services AR aging summary as of today. Based on the accounts receivable aging report and the fact that Craig offers 30-day terms, whom would you advise Craig to contact for immediate payment if Craig is looking to collect any balances over 60 days past due? Okay, so let's look at this. 60 days past due. Red Rock Diner. Let's check answer. That's right. The Red Rock Diner is a late payer by some way. Excuse me. The report can help Craig get on top of who has gone beyond his terms and still owes for what work he's done. If he runs the report regularly, he can see who is immediately beyond the 30-day terms he specified on his invoice and send a reminder on day 31 to keep on top of his debtors. Next. Lesson check. Okay. Based on the accounts payable aging report, and if all vendors offer 30-day terms, whom would you make the first payment to? I would make it to this, since it's the oldest, PG&E. That's right, the payment to PG&E is late. Craig needs to get on top of this and make the payment. If Craig runs the report regularly, he can see the potential issues before they happen and take steps. For instance, you may have noticed there are 3 significant bills that will need to be paid in the next few weeks. Has Craig anticipated this? And what will be the effect on his liquidity of paying these bills over a short period of time? Summary. Learning outcomes. Well done. In this lesson, you have learned how to recognize how to navigate the report center and run basic reports. Recognize the difference between cash basis and accrual basis reporting. We got this tool over here. And next lesson, we'll take a look at the value of reports and how to convey that value to your clients. So we're going to back up over here because I'm going to be calling it a night at this point. It's been a little bit over an hour long stream. So I'm going to end the stream right here. So thank you everyone for joining me for tonight's episode of Let's Learn QuickBooks Online Certification, QuickBooks ProAdvisor. If you enjoy the content, please feel free to hit that like, hit that notification bell, and hit that subscribe button. Thank you everyone for joining me tonight. You guys stay hustling out there, continue to work hard, work smart, and have a good one, guys. Bye.